Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. We're here to continue our great conversation with Dr. Vince Rodriguez, the president of Coastline Community College. Just before the commercial break, we learned about the innovation that Coastline has created in distant learning and pivoting over to the Zoom technology and the internet learning. And now I want to learn more about, what are some of the struggles that you see or that you've seen during the pandemic, Dr. Rodriguez, and what is Coastline doing to meet those needs at this point?
Thank you, Julie. Well, first I want to thank all of our employees. They did a phenomenal job preparing as we entered in the pandemic and changing to Zoom, and they did a phenomenal job. In about 10 days, what they were able to accomplish was incredible. But just before the pandemic, we were starting to have discussions on the campus about how we could integrate our military students with our other populations. And the conversation came up about what do our students need and what challenges are they experiencing. And one of the things that happened is we realized that they need a lot of flexibility, which was back in our roots, but we were focusing on that mainly for our military students. And then the instructors were saying more of our students needed that. Well, when the pandemic hit, it put a spotlight on that and how many students needed flexibility. So there were a variety.
So it wasn't just the students that are from the military families?
No, it wasn't just the military families. We had prided ourselves on doing a lot to help our military families before the pandemic and provide flexibility. Our instructors are saying our regular students need more of that. And then with the pandemic hitting, then they realized a large number of our students needed help. And some of those areas was right away, people were out of work. And while I was fortunate to be in the college continuing to work, many people didn't. So food insecurity was a big thing early on. So we are fortunate that we had food pantries. Our employees had every week food pantry on Monday in our Garden Grove Center, and in the Friday we would have it at our Newport Center. So how could we help with providing the food and helping with food insecurity, providing resources throughout our community so people knew how to get food? How do we help with a variety of other areas such as transportation, housing, any of those needs, because we know that if the students aren't able to focus on their basic needs and feel supported and that they're supporting their families, then they can't focus on education.
Right. Well, I think that's what we went back to talking about, that Coastline Community College really focuses on the foundation, whether it's foundation for the college or even reestablishing the foundation for each student. I think that's so important because we see that, as we mentioned, that the disparity, the internet gap, right? The technology gap, the food gap, the housing, those insecurities, they all amplified and got heightened during the pandemic. So I'm just so glad that Coastline Community College was available and your amazing staff was there to help the community. Julie muốn nhắc quý vị đó là trong Coastline Community College có một cái trung tâm kêu là Student Services Center trong thành phố Fountain Valley. Dr. Rodriguez nói đó là trong cái pandemic có nhiều cái staff của Dr. Rodriguez giúp cho nhiều học sinh trước khi cái pandemic, cái Coastline Community College chú ý về giúp cho military family, gia đình mình mà làm trong Army and military, vân mấy cái trung tâm đó mà được trong cái pandemic, Dr. Rodriguez nói đó là thấy rất nhiều gia đình có cái khó khăn về food insecurity, housing insecurity với rất nhiều chương trình để cho cần cung cấp để giúp đỡ. Dr. Rodriguez nói đó là trong thành phố Garden Grove có một cái campus cho Coastline Community College giúp cho làm food distribution, làm có rất nhiều đồ ăn giúp cho cộng đồng của mình, mà cũng có một cái campus trong thành phố Newport Beach cũng giúp cho food insecurity là phát ăn cho mỗi người mỗi thứ Sáu trong cái pandemic. Thì bây giờ mình thấy đó là Coastline Community College có 3 cái campus là thành phố Garden Grove, thành phố Fountain Valley, thêm nữa là thành phố Newport Beach. So I was just reminding everybody that Coastline Community College, to my knowledge, has 3 physical campus in addition to the distant learning. Is that correct, Dr. Rodriguez?
Well, we actually have 3 places where we teach classes as well as our Fountain Valley Center. So I'll give you a quick overview. The oldest building that we currently have is at Garden Grove, primarily on cybersecurity and technology, as well as ESL. Then we have our Westminster Center. named after the Frank Jiao family and the Lee family of Lee sandwiches, which I just passed as I was coming into the station. That's in Westminster. And then our Newport Center is primarily science and fine art and our acquired brain injury. And then lastly, the Student Services Center that we just opened in Fountain Valley that provides a lot of the support for our students outside of the classroom. Some of the support that you and I were talking about that I can go a little deeper into, which is provided through that location. And then lastly, as you properly stated, online. Yes. A virtual campus where students can go online. In fact, many students will take classes with us online, and the first time they come on campus is on graduation.
Oh, that's an interesting model, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, you know, Dr. Rodriguez, I just want to remind the audience again that each of those campuses are different. You said that the Euclid or the Garden Grove campus is on focuses on cybersecurity and ESL. The Fountain Valley one is more the resources for the students, like the basic needs.
Yes.
The Newport Beach, once more, is focusing on the sciences and the arts. Is that correct?
Science and fine arts.
And
we have a gallery that is well known in our community.
And what about the Lee Jiao Center in Westminster?
Lee Jiao focuses mostly on language arts, so languages, ESL, a little bit of science. We also have programs for citizenship programs, which I think is very helpful in the community, especially depending on where we are in society at any given time. Helping people to get citizenship is a tremendous benefit.
Are those bilingual programs that are available?
The ESL would be more bilingual, helping them out until, ideally in ESL, getting them to speak English as much as possible so they can get immersed in it. But obviously the faculty there are helping those students that generally come from English as a second language, so they'll do everything they can to help them through those programs.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dr. Rodriguez. I'm trying to recap everything in Vietnamese. Thưa quý vị, một lần nữa thì Dr. Rodriguez nói đó là có nhiều cái campus trong thành phố Garden Grove chú ý về cho là cyber security với ESL. Cái campus ở Westminster là language, là về ngôn ngữ. And ESL cũng có rất là nhiều cái chương trình cho citizenship. Cái campus trong thành phố Newport Beach là chú ý về fine arts and sciences. And then mình nói đó là cái phần Fountain Valley là chú ý về nói cái bằng là basic needs, về giúp cho học sinh về được tìm nhà, đồ ăn uống, về có rất nhiều cái chương trình khác, mà cũng có một cái đặc biệt cái Veteran Center. Julie cũng có một cái thời gian để cho tới cái grand opening and tour cái campus. Julie thấy có rất nhiều nhân viên giúp cho học sinh về rất nhiều cái bằng cao rất thấy tốt đẹp lắm. You know, as I took the tour around and I looked at all of the nameplates and everybody that's there, there's all these doctors and masters and all these highly qualified staff that are housed in that building, you know. So when we talk about basic needs to help the community, you really have a staff that is highly trained, highly educated, and equipped to really help the community. So Dr. Rodriguez, tell me about your staff and what it means to work with such a dedicated staff.
Well, you're right. They are very dedicated staff. It's been fantastic to work with them because they focus on what is it the students need. They advocate on behalf of the students and help me and the other leadership team to understand where can we best provide our resources so they can help the community.
Well, you know, Dr. Rodriguez, I feel so blessed and so honored that you set aside your busy schedule to be here and to talk about it, because I think as a good leader, it really is our team that comes together, that allow us and give us that trust to lead this. So I really feel that, you know, your staff is so well equipped to help students meet the basic needs as well as the educational needs. Once the foundation is established, is there any message you want to deliver to our community as we go on commercial break about enrollment and accessing those services?
Well, one of the things I would like our community to remember is don't be afraid to ask for help. We have lots of resources, and oftentimes people don't realize how much we can help them if they will just come in and let us work with them.
Well, thank you again, Dr. Rodriguez. As you know, culturally, in all of our culture, asking for help is very hard. But thank you for the invitation, for them to not feel reluctant to come to Coastline for further support. Julie, cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Hôm nay chúng tôi có thời gian nói chuyện với Dr. Rodriguez. Sau phần quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ nói chi tiết thêm về cái chương trình của Coastline Community College. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.